Welcome to discussion area 5. People often comment on how large and complex the groundwater project is. In this session, we'll be explaining how we kept such a large, complex, multidisciplinary project together over the 4 years. 3 speakers will do this. Andrew Hall will talk about the project overall. He'll be followed by Syed Khair, who is providing some insight into how to get around the logistical issues, particularly working with Balochistan. And Michael Mitchell will wrap it up with some of his key reflections on how to manage large multidisciplinary projects. Over to you first, Andrew.
So in terms of the key results for this discussion point, managing large multidisciplinary projects, multidisciplinary integrated projects are needed to address issues involving complex, uncertain futures. Social researchers, groundwater managers, hydrogeologists, irrigation and agricultural specialists are required to work with community groups. This project has not only shown that it is possible, but it is also likely to become more common in future projects in Pakistan. While the focus was on groundwater, the approach to capacity building was through multi-level, multidisciplinary collaborative research. The complexity and size of the challenge required an integrated approach towards sustainable management of groundwater to enhance productivity and thereby farmers' livelihoods. Integrated management requires participatory governance arrangements to enable groundwater users and other relevant stakeholder communities to more effectively engage in the knowledge gathering and decision-making processes for sustainable and fair use of groundwater. This project has demonstrated that it is possible to have successful projects with large teams across provinces that address complex issues. Specifically, we have showed that it is possible to manage a multi-partner, multidisciplinary project. The benefits or impacts from doing so are clear and numerous. Our multi-level, multidisciplinary project approach is vindicated by the various findings of the project. Establishing groundwater management areas and understanding sustainable extraction limits at the sub-basin level will allow resource managers in provincial irrigation departments to focus on improving management of hotspots. Stakeholder engagement, particularly with the groundwater users at the sub-basin level, along with improved knowledge sharing, will improve practices. While networks were formed to directly achieve the project goals of improved groundwater management, other important networks formed through the project are the various multi-partner alliances. Many project team members commented on the challenges, but ultimately beneficial impacts of working within a large, multidisciplinary team and developing wider practitioner networks. It enabled the provincial irrigation departments of Punjab, Sindh and Balochistan to sit at one table. It enabled interaction and collaboration across universities, the University of Agriculture Faisalabad, Balochistan University and Sindh Agricultural University. To quote our team member Faizan, that I've taken from the report, "This is the first time this has happened in Pakistan, and I would like to see this kind of approach in future projects as well." So what are our recommendations? We recommend that ACR investment in this project is captured and built on in further multidisciplinary projects in Pakistan, beyond but complementary to the Southern Indus Basin Salinity Project. Future projects should use and complement the range of networks developed and those that are developing as a result of this project. Scaling up on-ground and institutional impacts should be approached by working with established and growing networks from this project, using collaborative design approaches to ensure context is included in the design of solutions, and continuing to build out from the areas of expertise from the universities, government departments and villages engaged in this project. In-country partners are seeking ways to continue support of and involvement in the existing stakeholder forums.
I am Syed Khair. I am going to present the logistic challenges that we faced during the course of this project and tips for overcoming them with special reference to Balochistan. This project provided us with an opportunity to bring many stakeholders together. However, many issues were confronted during the course of the project. First was that we were unable to host the Australian and other national team in Balochistan. The second one was that coordinating with a large team together was again an issue, keeping in view the vast area of Balochistan. We had to travel to participate in different meetings that were mainly held in Lahore, Karachi, or Faisalabad. So we had to travel and we had to spare more days than our other colleagues. Beside this, within the province, travel because of long distances, it took a lot of time. On the right hand side, the photos shows our interaction with the communities and the logistic arrangements to transport the plants to the field, and similarly to take data and interact with the communities. The impacts were that the international experts were unable to meet the communities and see the ground realities. Similar was the case with the communities that couldn't meet them. But we managed that. Unlike Punjab and Sindh, we had to run all the project activities without the Australians visiting us. So it was good for us as well to really take responsibility. We managed as follows. We recorded the video presentations of our international experts and shared their knowledge with the stakeholders. Our Balochistan team led the way with the PRA development and reporting that helped us improve our coordination and build our coordination with our other project partners. We arranged exposure visits of Balochistan farmers to Punjab stakeholder workshop. On the right side, the photos show the presentations made by our international experts to the communities. We used multimedia to show these, and you can see on the photo given below that people are watching that with great attention. So our recommendations are that keeping in view the severe groundwater related situations, Balochistan farmers are known for their cooperation and hospitality. They deserve more projects in future, more work in this area. Our experience with the farming communities with the interventions has been excellent, and the replication of these at large scale would bring revolutionary impacts on the groundwater efficient use and the people's livelihood. Hence, there is great scope for future work. So continue to include Balochistan in project planning in future. 8. Allow additional travel visit, use technology if physical visits are not possible, and arrange exposure visit. Thank you very much.
Oddly enough. Okay, so I wanted to begin by noting that this project actually learned from prior projects, and one of the significant successes of this project is that we invested in communications, and that's been a lauded aspect of this project. We actually had a dedicated communications manager. I'll come back to that. And look, there she is, Kanza. She's beautiful, and she's engaging there with lovely people in Sindh province. Another key implication, I think, for how we're going forward is that we found face-to-face meetings really very good for team building. And here we have a picture of one of our team building activities, which was just a bit of fun, and it built great camaraderie amongst the team and laughter and fun. And then we learned that taking everybody from the project out on one of our field visits was also an excellent team building exercise. And you can see the person right there, that's Naveed. Naveed provided feedback at that time to say how it really helped build solidarity and understanding across all of the disciplines, because this was the first time we were able to bring people from all the disciplines out into the field to talk with farmers. But one thing that we learned through the journey is that our reliance on having one single communications manager to manage communications isn't enough. And this is us meeting during one of the Pakistan meetings, realizing that we still really hadn't delivered on our communications program because we needed to involve the whole team. So I think that's our clear learning from this, that communications management is a whole of team effort. And in particular, it's not just about how we share our knowledge, but it's also how I can use the word broker our knowledge. We need good knowledge brokers, and we relied on good knowledge brokers, particularly with our case studies. And that's my recommendation.